And I hope you had a great weekend as we were glad to get through high school football week number 1. First off, I want to give everybody an apology because high school football week 1 was interesting, to say the least. And with that, in my 38 years of broadcasting, I never had a week 1 high school football turn out the way that it did, in the form of having delays and having to having to scramble to try to fill time like we did. Thursday night, we had a little bit of delay because of the weather and everything that came through the area. And it was, okay, we can deal with this. We still had hands on deck in here for the Thursday night game. Just got pushed back an hour and a half because of the weather. Okay, we can deal with that. And we were able to have on our regular, two millennials talking, even though it was a millennial and a Gen Xer, because Keon was naturally over at Finley Stadium for the Erlanger Kickoff Classic. So we got through that, and we got through where the football game got done around 12:30. We got home around 1. And that's not bad for only a half hour, of getting things cleaned up, ready to go, getting an update ready for Friday. And then Friday night comes. Everything is going to plan. And then they get the national anthem done. Nobody was kneeling that we know of. And all of a sudden, they pull the kids off the field because of lightning. And you should always do that, because the kids' safety is most important. Then as things got delayed more and more, it was like, okay, we need to get everybody into the gym because of the weather, the way that it was. And it was like, then they finally decided around 8:15, 8:45 window, okay, we're going to suspend this game, try to play it tomorrow, which was Saturday at 1:00. All right. So we're ready to go on that. And then Saturday morning, because various things, we get informed that the game is canceled. Okay. All right. So we don't have to worry about doing a game on Saturday afternoon. So, but Friday night though, until Nick and Keon came into the studios to kind of help me out, we were scrambling, and fortunately we have that partnership with the Times Free Press sports department in making sure that we've got the other games where we're keeping updates on that and trying to, play commercials, when needed and everything. But it was like, if this would have been week 2 through 10 or playoffs, and we had, the situation that we did, it wouldn't have been so bad. But not trying to make excuses. When you're new to the area, you don't have a whole lot of history to go back and fall upon. And then it's week 1. So there's nothing other than to talk about what happened on Thursday night, with only 4 or 5 games being played total, and talking about maybe a little bit of, what we saw and observed during the jamborees that went on in Tennessee side as well as the Georgia side. So yeah, it made for an interesting night. So I just want to say I apologize, that we weren't a little bit more on our toes. We definitely were tiptoeing through the tulips, trying to find the various stuff going on. And so, I just don't like going through having that uncertainty. But it was just one of those things that First time ever that's happened to me, finding me kind of speechless. And literally, we were trying to, see about if we needed to go to some of our regular programming that you normally hear on Friday nights. Now, keep right on going. We got sports till at least 10 o'clock. Okay. And we did. We brought you scores and highlights and updates from the other games going on in Tennessee and Georgia, and trying to get all that assimilated. Not easy when you're doing it by yourself. And normally if you got the game going on, you can, just kind of get that stuff prepared, not really have to worry about anything. But, this Thursday night Gridiron Gang show is going to be live at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We want you to come out every Thursday night to Starbucks there at 10 North and participate, be a part of it. We'll have coaches and other interesting guests that we'll have there on the show. So we want to invite you, bring your friends along. They'll have some specials going on there at Starbucks at 10 North. Hey, we want to mention to you, if you're looking for something really, really good and, you don't have a whole lot of time for lunch, well, here's one place you can go to, the Olive Branch Mediterranean Deli, located on Ringgold Road in East Ridge. Tomorrow's specials, baked ziti and Tuscan pork chop. And if you're a vegan, cannellini bean stew. It all sounds good. And I'm not even a vegan. So if you get a chance, stop by there, check out their great food. Today they had sauteed chicken livers, Greek in style, and chicken souvlaki. For the vegans out there, stuffed tomato with herbs and rice. Doesn't sound bad. I'm not really into tomatoes, but stuffed tomatoes I can get into. So tomorrow it's baked ziti and Tuscan pork chop. And for you vegans, cannellini bean stew at the Olive Branch Mediterranean Deli on the Ringgold Road in East Ridge. If you'd like to participate in tonight's show, you can give us a call at 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. And, of course, you can interact with us on Facebook Live as well. Yes. So you can be a part of us in several different ways. I was mentioning earlier about the Gridiron Gang show. I think you will have a lot of fun. Be a lot of interesting comments and discussions going on. And make sure you join us on that. Don't forget also, write this down on your calendar. Friday, September 14th, Trail Tears Memorial Pre-Ride Rally going on at Crockett Power Sports and Indian Motorcycles of Chattanooga, just off of Access Road, off of 153. Nooga Radio 92.7 FM will be broadcasting live beginning at 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. with various vendors, food, music, and a chance to gather and fellowship with your tribes. Silver anniversary of this great event where bikers from across the nation gather, the Trail Tears Memorial Association members, and hold this Ride and Remember event. Join us beginning at 4 p.m. for the pre-ride rally live from Crockett Power Sports and Indian Motorcycles of Chattanooga with Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. NASCAR racing on Saturday night, where they were at the Saturday night race over at Bristol with the NRA race that was going on. And Kurt Busch was able to come away with a victory. Kurt Busch with the Stewart-Haas racing team in the 41 car coming away with a victory. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and check in with my good friend Susie Armstrong. Get you updated with what's going on in Ned Jarrett's world of racing.
Another Cup veteran will call it quits after the 2018 season.
It's time to do something different. And
I'm Susie Armstrong, and this is the world of racing.
I'm former crew chief and STP auto expert Steve Letarte. Does your engine feel like it's down on power? It could be caused by deposits on fuel injectors, engine valves, and combustion chambers. An easy way to help clean up your fuel system and restore lost power is through the gas tank with STP Ultra 5-in-1 Fuel System Cleaner. One bottle contains 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus the leading premium gasoline to help keep your engine running strong. STP, inside every great machine.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents and 35 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Join MRN as we travel through the life of NASCAR's most popular driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway, leading the pack.
I won races that I never thought I'd win.
From growing up under the Earnhardt name to super speedway wins to Whiskey River, we dive into everything Dale Jr.
He's Rain Man for NASCAR history.
You know, we weren't the typical family that got to sit down to dinner together.
Tune in to Junior's Journey, available on iTunes for download only on the Motor Racing Network. Casey Kane plans to end his NASCAR career following the 2018 season. The Levine family racing driver bids farewell to an illustrious tenure spanning 15 years, where he logged 18 Cup victories with top teams like Hendrick Motorsports. The Enumclaw, Washington native offered multiple reasons for his retirement over the weekend.
It's all I've thought about for 25 years. It's all I've wanted to do and figure out how to get better as a driver, as a team, understanding the cars, all those things. You know, how can I get better? And it's all that's been on my mind. So to just back off that a little bit, I think would be really refreshing and be really good for me and my family, friends, things like that.
I'm Susie Armstrong, and this is The World of Racing on the Motor Racing Network.
And we'll check in with Woody Kane here in a little while and get you updated with the latest from NASCAR today. Once again, NASCAR racing getting down toward the end. In fact, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more races to go. So 2 more before the race for the chase that gets underway in Vegas. Bojangles Southern 500 at Darlington, and then they'll go up to Indy for the Brickyard 400. So those are the next 3 races. Bojangles Southern 500 at Darlington. That will get underway at 5 o'clock on September the 2nd. So that will be a Sunday night race. So with that, then the very next day, Labor Day, I think Indy takes the spotlight with the Indianapolis 500. I'm getting that mixed up with the other race. That's Memorial Day. I'm sorry. Anyway, but Brickyard 400 coming up, and usually, you know, a lot of people really get into that, and those are some of like the final jockeying positions in order to try to make their chances. Right now, there's only about 5, maybe 6 that have really got a solidified spot for the race for the chase. Kevin Harvick, most definitely. He's won 7 times already this season. Then you got Austin Dillon, who won the Daytona 500. Martin Truex Jr., who's won several times. And now Kurt Busch adding to that here this past weekend over at Bristol. So there's a couple others out there that, you know, have made strides and trying to get ready for that postseason opportunity that they get to endure and face. So it will be interesting how the races, you know, come down here toward the end and make it really interesting. Don't forget, get your high school football spirits in high gear on Thursday nights with Nooga Radio's Gridiron Gang Show, live from 7 to 9 p.m. at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. Then join me on Friday nights with the Countdown to Kickoff presented by One-on-One Personal Training beginning at 7 p.m. Later, Keon Rose, Nick LaFew bring you all the excitement of the high school football game of the week at 7:30 p.m. this Friday night. Chattanooga Central visits Red Bank. After the game, I'll get you up to date with all the scores and highlights from all across the region with the 5th quarter show. Sports is Super with Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Don't forget the Clutch with Keon Rose coming up here in just a little while after the news at 8 o'clock. And Keon will have all kinds of interesting things to talk about. Major League Baseball, they're starting to, get into gear for the playoff run. Yeah, before you know it, September's here. Everybody's starting to ramp up and get ready for the playoff push. That will be here before you know it. And then also, not that far around the corner, you got the NBA and the NHL getting ready to kick off their 2018-19 seasons. It'll be interesting to see how the Nashville Predators starting to shape up and getting ready. I know I was up in Nashville here a couple of weeks ago when I was visiting my one son who flew in for this conference. We popped up there on a Saturday and, wanted to visit with him because we don't always get to see him all the time. Don't get to talk to him all the time like we would like. And it's like, we were checking out what was going on there at Bridgestone. And it's like, they had players that were coming in doing off-season workouts and some new faces. So the Preds, they want to get past this past season after they made it to the promised land, to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then they lost to Pittsburgh this past season. They lost out in the second round. So the Preds, they've had that taste. They're ready to go to the promised land and win it all. So it will be interesting to see how things transpire as the Preds are getting ready. And then I don't know what your favorite NBA team is. Probably Atlanta, maybe. Or it could be the Charlotte Bobcats, or could it be the Memphis Grizzlies? There's a lot of different choices for teams out there. Maybe you've been swayed to go and root for the Lakers since LeBron's moved his act from Cleveland over to LA. I don't think LA is going to be that great. I mean, there's just not enough there for LeBron to say, okay, we're going to win. We're going to beat the Warriors in the Western Conference and dominate. I just don't see that. Not initially in the first season. Not unless there's some big major trades that happen in the process. Saw that former lookout left-handed pitcher Steven Gonzalez starting for the Twins tonight. He got called up from AAA Rochester Sunday and will start tonight against the White Sox. He's a California lefty taking the place of Erwin Santana, who's out with an injury. And I mean, having Santana out of the lineup, that's huge for the Twins. Santana is really a great pitcher. Gonzalez has spent a good bit of time in Chattanooga with the Lookouts pitching in 2016, 2017, and part of this season. I can remember during Media Day getting to talk with Gonzalez, and he was hoping that he wouldn't be in Chattanooga for the bulk of the season. And sure enough, he wasn't. He got called up. But also another lookout player, right-handed pitcher Cole Stewart. He's pitched 2 games for the Twins this past month. And he's had a few control issues. And hopefully Gonzalez does not have that issue with this opportunity. He pitched at AA Chattanooga and AAA Rochester this season, combining to go 12-3 with a 2.76 ERA in 120 2/3 innings with 37 earned runs, 65 walks, and 120 strikeouts. To make room for Gonzalez on the 20-man roster, the Twins have optioned right-handed and another former lookout pitcher, Tyler Duffy, to AAA Rochester. So hopefully Duffy won't be staying down there very long as he's getting ready for his opportunity to show them that he's got the good stuff out there. All right. Don't forget, you can always call us up with your questions or comments at 423-800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. Locker Room Show with Sam Jordan will continue here in a little while. We're going to get ready to go to break here. And if you'd like, you can always call in and participate. And hopefully you enjoy the show. We'd like to hear more from you. And, of course, you can always email us at nouganewsradio@yahoo.com. Visit our website at nougaradio.com. We've got a lot of ways that you can get in contact with us. You can follow us on YouTube as well as on Facebook Live. It's the Locker Room Show with yours truly, Sam Jordan. Right here on News Radio 927. We're back with more in a moment.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chatta, Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A Rossville man stabbed to death, another savagely slashed. This happened on Rogers Road. 62-year-old LeBron Hankins was stabbed to death. When officers arrived, they found him lying on the ground. Another man was stabbed in the same fight. He rushed to the hospital. No charges have yet been pressed. An RV burned to the wheels on Mowbray Mountain. Tri-County Community Fire Department reports a total loss. Only the frame and the wheels remained. Miraculously, nobody was hurt. And the parking lot in front of Firehouse Subs in Hickson opened up, revealing a gaping sinkhole. A wrecker had to be called to tow a car away. Nobody was injured. This is far from the first time a sinkhole has revealed itself in Chattanooga. Just recently, one opened up in the parking lot of Walgreens. CFD spokesman Bruce Garner tells WRCB the owner is responsible for any repairs that need to be made. Val St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
David Toulis. I made the move 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nuga Radio.
92.7 Chattanooga weather.
Any lingering showers and storms will slowly diminish through your nighttime. Overnight lows 70 to 72. Some patchy late fog. For Tuesday, a few scattered showers will move on to the south and east. Highs 85 to 87 with more sunshine, drier, and pleasant weather for the midweek. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's, home with the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world-famous sauce. Open daily. Locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm Source E12 Chief Meteorologist Pat Report.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running, and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart, not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. signalvoicetn.com.
Let's face it, Old Faithful isn't as faithful as it used to be. Constant repairs are a hassle and can rack up quick in money and time. Landers McClarty Ford can fix that. Right now, you can get a 2016 Ford Focus, 34,000 miles, only $11,491. A 2017 Chevy Spark with only 17,000 miles for less than $12,000. A 2015 Volkswagen Jetta with less than 21,000 miles for $11,991. Yeah, browse their entire inventory of new and new-to-you cars, trucks, and SUVs online at Landers McCarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. If you can't find your next perfect ride, they'll go find it for you. Big city selection, small town prices, friendly service, and top dollar for your trade. The savings are waiting and only a short drive away, so what are you waiting for? Get started with your personalized shopping today at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric, you're our winner. Really?
You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
Call 423-875-3600 if you're looking to expand your professional look of your business. Then consider the vast opportunities that are available when you locate your office with the Raines Group family. Remember, it's location, location, location. And the Raines Group has the location for your professional office. Check out the spaces for lease at Executive Business Park on the Lee Highway. Small or large, we will build to suit your needs with the Raines Group. Call 423-875-3600 for the business professionals with the Raines Group.
Chattanooga Paint and Decorating would like to remind you it's so hot out there. And guess what? Your deck is taking a beating. It's probably starting to show wear. If you're hosting friends, get your deck entertainment ready with a fresh coat of stain and protect it from heat, sun, and rain with a quality sealant. If you want to get to work, Chattanooga Paint and Decorating want to help you. For exterior paint, stains, sealants, and supplies, stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today on Hickson Pike across from Valvoline or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio. Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7
Nuga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nuga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Monday, August 20th, 2018. And also National Radio. I've been in this business coming up this Friday of 38 years. And up until a couple years ago, I did not realize that August 20th was National Radio Day. It's also National Lemonade Day as well. And me being a connoisseur and devourer of lemonade, yes, I am. You can ask anybody here. They usually see me with lemonade somewhere in the office or in my possession somewhere. But it's two good things going on the same day: National Radio Day, National Lemonade Day. So, you see a kid out there with a lemonade stand, well, patronize them. That's how you find out who the true entrepreneurs are. When they got that lemonade stand, when they're about 8 to 12 years old, and the pureness behind it, and now anymore, people are skeptical because they don't know if they're going to get poisoned or whatever. But about 4 or 5 years ago, I realized that National Radio Day was today. So. All right, the Locker Room Show continues. You can always chime in with your questions or comments at Nuga Radio's Facebook page. Also, you can call in. We encourage that as well at 423-800-8949. Appreciate everybody that has checked in and, has let us know they're out there watching. But, not trying to belabor the point, but, high school football finally underway. I'm so glad because that is probably one of the purest forms of sports that I really enjoy. High school and college sports, and especially with football and basketball. Baseball, okay. High school baseball I can deal with, and softball. But it's interesting to see how some of the teams that, have jumped out to, their first victories, and some teams that you would have thought would have won actually lost. And, it's quite interesting. I know Ray County and Cleveland are going to finish their game tonight. In fact, it's probably already underway up in Cleveland. So, and there was one other game, I think, that was down in Georgia that they were going to finish tonight as well. But, we'll have all the 4-1-1 coming up on Thursday, beginning Thursday night at 7:00. And then, of course, Keon and Nick and the rest of the cast of characters that'll be at Starbucks Thursday night from 7 to 9. We want you to stop by and be a part of the show and everything. And, ask questions, interact. That's what the show is all about. And then Friday night, 7:00, countdown to kickoff, presented by One-on-One Personal Training. And we'll get you updated with all the information going into Friday night football from around the region. And then we'll kick it over to Chattanooga Central and Red Bank this Friday night. It'll be a busy press box because I see that our broadcast partners over at News 12 Now, they're going to be doing the game of the week there as well. So it will be a packed press box, to say the least. And then during the game, we'll give you score updates, and we'll also have the fifth quarter show as well here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Don't forget, coming up here after the top of the hour, my good buddy Keon Rose. He is the voice of high school football in the Tennessee Valley here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. He'll be bringing you the Clutch with Keon Rose. All right. Looking over, the high school standings and stuff, and at the different classifications and the different regions, taking a look at the Division II Class AA, all but Silverdale Academy lost on opening night. That includes, and this is Division II Class AA, Boyd Buchanan lost, Chattanooga Christian lost, Christian Academy of Knoxville, Grace Christian Academy, Notre Dame, and Webb Knoxville all losing. Silverdale Academy was the only team in Class AA Division II that won over the weekend. Now, when you take a look at the other side in the Class AAA Division II, Baylor, Brentwood Academy, Ensworth, McCallie, all getting victories, and some of them pretty decent victories as well. The other thing with Division II Class AA was there were some lopsided wins by the opponents that took on those Division II Class AA teams. Then you take a look at Class 3A Region 3, which includes Brainerd, Loudon, McMinn, Central, Red Bank, Signal Mountain, and Sweetwater. Everyone, with the exception of Red Bank, lost as well. Quite a few of those were lopsided losses. 47-7, 15-6. That wasn't so bad. 39-0, 31-13, 16-0. Red Bank was the only one that did not lose, but they did not win either. So I still think that it's going to be a little bit quirky and interesting at the same time, because the only way that the Red Bank Soddy Daisy games ever going to be played is either one of two things: playoff implications, which could very well be, and then the other option is not till next year. But I got a sneaking suspicion that by week 10, there's going to be a second game played in the same week with Red Bank and Soddy Daisy, because they're going to need that little extra help. Now, Soddy Daisy, they're in the Class 5A Region 4 with Knoxville Catholic, Lenoir City, Ray County, and Walker Valley. Soddy is probably, other than them and Knoxville Catholic, are probably the two, I guess you could say, prominent ones out there that actually could, make some noise in their classification in their region. Walker Valley kind of surprised me because of losing to Chattanooga Central 40-28. And maybe Chat Central, kind of eased up there in the fourth quarter to allow a little bit of saving face with Walker Valley, because they pretty much got beat bad in the Jamboree from the previous weekend over at Findlay. And Walker Valley not having a whole lot of student athletes on the team. So, maybe they were trying to give them a little bit of redemption. Don't know. I mean, what the scenario was. But the one Class 4A Region 2 that has Sequoia, Howard Tech, Hickson, East Ridge, East Hamilton, Chattanooga Central, and Anderson County, all of those teams, with the exception of East Ridge, won in week 1. And it was by decent scores. Now, East Ridge lost 21-7. in that contest at Tyner Academy. So, that doesn't sound right. It was Ottawa and Tyner Academy. So it was my other 21-7 score here, because evidently we had two of those. I don't have it here offhand. But East Ridge, they should be pretty decent. So don't discount them out. They, may have their first loss of the season, but they should be able to get things turned around. High school football this Friday night. We've got Chattanooga Central and Red Bank from Red Bank High School. Hopefully the field's in good shape. I noticed Stephen Argus, when we were talking with him on Friday night, they're from Red Bank, as they were trying to stay dry because the way the winds were blowing it into the press box. We're saying that they had put in an order for the county to get a drainage system for the field there at Red Bank. And that was back in February or March, I forget when, but it was back in the early part of the year. And they still haven't done it. I wonder if they're going to try to get this done real quick so they don't have this issue again, at least this season. Be interesting to see what happens. But, it's just unfortunate. Georgia schools have better athletic facilities, at least in football. Now, I haven't seen all the different gyms, here in the Tennessee side. What I've seen of the Georgia schools, are pretty decent facilities. Why the disparity with Tennessee and the Hamilton County schools, I just don't know. But hopefully that they will take care of that issue at Red Bank. And I'm sure there was a few other schools that are having those same issues. Now, Soddy Daisy, no. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. I think it is Soddy Daisy. Or no, Hickson. Hickson is the one that's getting their football field and their track redone. I know Greg Martin, county commissioner, was on hand when they made that announcement and everything, and trying to get the facilities there where they are of pretty good shape. So hopefully Red Bank won't be too far behind on that as well. So for the most part, the facilities aren't that bad. It's just some of the football facilities, not the greatest. I think the worst that I've seen is Chat Central out there off of Route 58. So, it's like they have a little bit of seating over on the visitor side, on the far side of the field, and then everything is over on the home side in a very small press box, very small. But, one of these days, if they do find the money somehow, or Tennessee Lottery, which is supposed to go, those proceeds go toward education, maybe that they can find a way that the state legislature would allocate certain funds to fix up athletic facilities at all the various schools to get them in pretty good shape. They really need to take care of that issue kind of sooner than later. All right, we're going to check in with Woody King, get you updated with the latest from NASCAR today here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Kurt's big win adds fuel to the rumor mill.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
I'm Woody Kane. The story next on NASCAR Today.
I noticed my neighbor put a broken World's Best Dad mug in the recycling bin by his curb. So I did what anyone would do. Fixed it with some JB Weld Clear Weld epoxy, then returned the next morning to stand in his yard and drink coffee. He and his family stared out the window at me with confusion, and underneath that, fear. And underneath that, I want to say jealous anger. But underneath that, there was also appreciation for a lesson well learned. Don't toss it, JB Weld it.
Progressive presents Get Pumped. Inspiration to help you do insurance stuff.
Okay, time out. You're gonna let your budget be the boss of you? Take control with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay for car insurance, and we'll help you find options that fit your budget. Here's some music to get you pumped. Da-dong, 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 dang, dang. I hear your budget laughing at you. Oh, wait, that's just those kids laughing at me. Ignore them! Da-dong, da-dong,
Progressive
da-dong.
Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With silly season rumors swirling around Kurt Busch about his future, his win Saturday night at Bristol couldn't have come at a better time. The former series champ says he notched his 30th career victory by keeping his eye on the prize.
You never waver, you keep focused, and the timing was perfect with our team gelling. Bristol night race, you go after it, and then with the rumors on the outside, it's all rumors, and you just stay focused. Just stay laser focused on the task. And that's what I love, putting my helmet on, even though I left my helmet, I guess, out on the track after I won. I'll have to go find another one. But yeah, you put that helmet on and it's go time.
Published reports have linked Busch to the one car at Chip Ganassi Racing next season, but Busch insists nothing has been decided yet. I'm Woody Kane. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
All right. Thank you very much, Woody Kane. And of course, you can get all your NASCAR racing action right here on the NASCAR racing station, Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Don't forget, coming up after 8 o'clock, my good buddy Keon Rose with the Clutch. And tonight he's got some new information about Urban Meyer and the Zach Smith debacle that is casting a heavy shadow over the campus in Columbus, Ohio. I know you folks down here in Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama in the Southeast, you probably don't give two rats' rear ends about it. But, when you're talking Urban Meyer, it's almost like talking about Nick Saban as far as the world of college football. But Keon's got some updates on that, some interesting tidbits. We were kind of discussing that a little bit. And, I'm not quite as adamant as what Nick LaFew is. He's thinking that Urban ought to go. Well, Urban may go, but he'll sit out a year or two or however long it takes for the buyout, if it happens that way, before you'll hear Urban Meyer's coaching at the University of Timbuktu or whatever. But I don't think he's going to be sitting on the sidelines too long if he was let go by Ohio State because of not reporting it like he should have. Do you think he should have reported if he knew? I mean, if it was me, if I'm Urban Meyer and I find out, even if it's from my wife or one of the other coaches' wives, it deserves a little bit of an investigation, because the people that are with you reflect upon you in the eyes of the public, the eyes of the school, and so forth. And it's like, if you can't get help for that individual, it's time to part company and move on. So even though Zach Smith has moved on and his ex-wife Courtney has moved on, it's going to be interesting to see what the university has determined to be the outcome. And I guess with what Keon's going to be talking about, I guess that may be coming sooner than later. So you'll have to tune in to the Keon Rose Show, The Clutch, coming up after the news at 8 o'clock. You're on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Soccer team, women's soccer team. Well, they're on a roll. They've started the season now at 2-0 for the first time since 2009. And the Eagles of Georgia Southern, they've became quickly an 0-2 team in the opening weekend of women's soccer action. University of Tennessee Chattanooga earned a 3-0 shutout at Georgia Southern on a hot and humid Sunday afternoon. They had gotten their first victory of the season against Alabama A&M, also by the same score of 3-0. Chattanooga will be on the road next weekend at South Alabama on Friday night and Troy Sunday afternoon. Of course, you can always follow all the action online at GoMox.com. So Now, Georgia Southern evidently outshot the Mocs 13-9 for the match, but UTC had a 6-5 shots on goal advantage. Ashton Shields earning her first collegiate win with 5 saves in 90 minutes in the net. Eagle keeper Jocelyn Springer played the entire match with making 3 stops in her defense at the other end. So Chattanooga Mocs women's soccer team starting out 2-0. That's really good. So thanks to Ann over at UTC for giving us that information. Don't forget, anytime that you have soccer and volleyball, it's free to watch. The soccer games are played over at Finley Stadium, and, plenty of seating available for you to go and catch them in action. I was able to catch them in their A&M game that they had on Thursday. And they did very well. At least Chattanooga had their right jerseys for their players, whereas Alabama A&M, I mean, there might have been 4 or 5 people on the entire roster that actually had the right roster number, uniform number. And I felt bad for Ann that day because she's trying to figure out who's who. And it didn't make her job easy, to say the least. Don't forget Thursday night, join Keon Rose, Nick LaFew, and others at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore for the Gridiron Gang show. And then on Friday night, we'll kick things off at 7 o'clock with the countdown to kickoff presented by 101 Personal Training. And then the high school football game of the week, Chattanooga Central and Red Bank. And then afterwards with the 5th quarter show. Keon Rose and the Clutch is coming up next after CBS World and National News. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again very soon. Have a great night.
Traffic, news, and information.